Hello, hello, hello. I am coming on live to do a Friday teaching. So if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Stef. I'm a psychic soul alignment coach. What I do is I work with spiritual entrepreneurs to help them to do very deep levels of healing in order to more fully align themselves with their souls, with who they truly are, so that in achieving this greater soul alignment, they're able to then achieve their highest level of impact, success, influence, and income. So that is how I help people. Now, every Friday I come on here onto my YouTube channel to do a channel's teaching. So basically, I just ask my guides what messages I need to bring forward at this time to help people, and they give me the topic, and that's what I come here and speak on. So if you're interested in these kinds of teachings, if you enjoy this one today, then definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these teachings. I also upload teachings on Mondays and Wednesdays from my Facebook community. So these are teachings that come from my Facebook community that I do there as well, or other places online. And when I have the time to upload them on Mondays and Wednesdays, they are on my channel. But if you don't want to wait, then I suggest that you follow me in the other places so you never miss out on those videos and you get them in a relatively quick fashion. So links to my social media are in the description of this video. Awesome. If you're watching me live, please say hello. If you're catching the replay, let me know that you got this. Okay, cool. So today's topic is the importance of leadership. If you follow me on Instagram, the theme this week was all about leadership, and I was talking about how important leadership is, how it's not really for just everyone, because not everyone feels like they're meant to be like the leader, the person that's in the forefront leading these people forward. Some people feel like they're more there to assist leaders, and everyone has a valid their existence or what they're choosing to step in their role is all valid. So you're not any less of a person just because you're not choosing to be a leader. But leadership does come with its challenges, and so this is why it's really important that if you feel called to step into a higher leadership role, you feel called to be that person to help people move forward, then you really just need to embrace everything that comes with leadership, because it isn't always the easiest journey. As I shared on Instagram this week, sometimes you're going to have to deal with people not believing in your cause, criticizing you, criticizing your leadership, thinking that you're wasting your time, and you're just going to have to deal with all of these challenges sometimes in handling those things, navigating those things as you're showing up and leading other people forward, right? I know for me this week, if you follow me on Facebook, I shared how lately I've been getting a lot of like downloads of things I just feel like I need to blurt out and share with the world, and just messages, right? And they're very strong messages sometimes. They're not the easiest truths to swallow, but they're the things that I just feel called to share. And my role as a leader is to just put the information out there, because this is what I'm here to do. And obviously by doing things and sharing things that aren't always, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining me, PJ. By putting this information out there, I received some criticism this week in regards to that from people that I genuinely care about. And in the past, this would have definitely negatively affected me when people that you care about or you appreciate or you respect, when they put you down, when they don't believe in what you're doing, when they are judging you as a bad person, or all of these different things. Like, those kinds of things do hurt. But when you decide to become a leader, it's your responsibility to work through your own inner stuff around that in order to lead the masses or the people more powerfully. Because what happens is when you allow your own need for validation and acceptance and self-worth and stuff to be affected by what other people are thinking about you or saying about you and so on, and you allow it to affect you, it really obviously emotionally, mentally affects you, and it compromises your leadership role. And so over the years, I have definitely done my, fair share of inner shifting, inner work to release a lot of those things. And so when I received this criticism from these people, or whatever constructive, observations or whatever you want to call them, when I observed these things from these people, I wasn't affected, and I was inspired to actually write a really long post on, this whole topic of not taking those kinds of comments or criticisms from other people so personally and allowing us to affect in what we're here to call to do. Hey, PJ, what do you mean by download? So what I mean by download is kind of like when something just pops in your head. So downloads is a very common vocabulary kind of word in the spiritual world where we receive this download, like you just download it from the internet onto your computer. This information where you just take it from the internet web and then you put it here on your computer. So from the ethers of the energy all around us, the universe, all of that somehow comes into my brain in a thought, in a pattern, in some kind of image. So that is a download. So I would get these like thoughts, like these quotes that I needed to share. And so the one that I particularly shared this week, which, you know, maybe in the future when someone else is watching this, I will want to criticize me as well, but it's all good. But basically what I shared for this week, because at this time of the recording, we're going through the coronavirus situation, and there's a lot of fear coming up right now at this time, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, a lot of stress about the future, about the present. You know, there are people with legitimate fears at this time. I understand that. I empathize with that. I get it. But at the same time, as a leader, my responsibility, and for all of you who feel called to be leaders, your responsibility is to share your truth, to share what you came here to share with other people, which isn't always going to be so well received. There are going to be people, depending on their level of consciousness and their filters and perceptions, that are going to interpret what you're saying, and they're going to interpret in the most negative way sometimes, depending on where they're at in their journey. COVID-19 is only highlighting the scarcity beliefs that you already had. So that is a very powerful truth, and not many people are going to, resonate with this. I got criticism that I was being, potentially it seemed like I was being privileged, short-sighted, insensitive, that I was basically, bypassing people's feelings and emotions and telling them to get over it and all this other stuff. Now, that wasn't my intention. That's not, I empathize with people. I've been in plenty of situations myself where I've had those challenges. Of course, they suck. However, it's really important to understand that this current situation that we're experiencing right now, if you're having some financial challenges, you had those beliefs around money, for example, in regards to this quote, you had those beliefs already before this whole COVID experience happened. You already had those things and you were manifesting them in different ways in your reality. And now that those beliefs, that scarcity is just really being brought to the forefront of your attention for you to finally address. But it's not that this situation happened and all of a sudden you just now had this belief and you had all these scarcity things. No, the scarcity stuff has been present long before, and now you're just really being given the opportunity to look at it so you can do something about it. That was my real intention for that, was to really help people to raise awareness around the fact that, you know, their scarcity beliefs right now, their fears in the future around finances and money and stuff, that's not just brand new because of this situation. That was actually happening long before that, and which is why they have been having certain struggles more than likely along the way until now. And now they're just really giving the opportunity to look at that, to look into that, to do something about it so that they don't continue to repeat this pattern and actually empower themselves, right? And so my responsibility as a leader, and for all of you who have these strong controversial truths, is for you to share your truth and to not allow yourself to be censored. Because quite often as leaders, we are worried about what other people are going to say. We don't want people to judge us, to criticize us, to troll us online. We don't want to hurt people's feelings because we want to be good people. We want to genuinely help. We want to see people be empowered. But sometimes the best way to empower people is by putting the cold, hard truth out there. And everyone has their way of putting the truth out there. I know some people are more gentler with what they say. I know sometimes, depending on who I'm speaking to, I'm gentle with how I say things. But sometimes I just really throw a bucket of ice water on people, because that's just the way my truth needs to be brought forward. And so this is what happens is, as leaders, it's really important for us at the time to really speak our truth and to really share these downloads or this information or these insights that we're getting with people, to help people wake up, to help people to recognize vicious patterns and cycles. Because if we don't bring it to their awareness, they're never going to be given the opportunity to really change, to do something about it. And so if I don't put that information out there, the download that I got, there would have been people that maybe would have continued going down this pattern thinking, oh, it's just the virus, when maybe my quote or what I said maybe caused them to reflect and be like, maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe that is right. Yeah, there is some, that does make sense to a certain extent. So I really need to look at myself more closely. So this is our responsibility as leaders, is to really not censor ourselves so that we can help people break free from old patterns, from old conditioning, from the matrix, from all of these old things, and to allow them to reach their potential. This is one of the reasons why leaders are super important at this time more than ever, because we really need to rise up and start dropping all of the fears and the doubts and the worries around, oh my God, people are going to like attack me and they're going to be upset with me and all this other stuff. No, you as a leader, your responsibility here is to shine a light, to be the highest, most empowered version of yourself. And that is by sharing your unique truth and showing up in the day-to-day as this powerful leader, sharing what you know, what you do, what you're here to say, all of these different things. You have to allow yourself to be seen and heard, because this is how we collectively create shifts in the world for the better. If we just continue to remain quiet and accept things the way that they are, then everything just keeps running the way it is and nothing really changes. One of the things that I shared, I believe it was last week, or I don't know when it was, or maybe this week, on Instagram, was that a lot of people really like complaining about how things in the world are wrong and how they should be better and they should change. And, people are polluting the planet and all of these different things. Like, if you follow me on Instagram, I really recommend that you go look at this post where I am basically looking over this cliff or something, because that's where I talk about it. So let me see if I can share it. This picture. Okay, if you're on Instagram, go find that picture and read this thing. Or I'll link it in the comments below. How about that in the description? But basically, a lot of people, they like complaining about what's wrong with the world and things needing to be better. But if nobody really rises up to do anything about it, nothing's going to change. And that's where we as leaders have to come in and be the brave ones. Be the brave ones to be seen among all of the other people who are just maybe blindly accepting things, or maybe just conforming to how things are and just resigning themselves to that reality and just accepting it. We have to be the ones to say, hey, no, this has to be different. This has to change. And I'm going to step up and I'm going to be that person if nobody else is going to be willing to, because that is how we change. See, nothing's going to really transform in our world if we just complain and complain and complain and say this is wrong, that's bad, and so on. We have to be the ones willing to move forward. And how we start creating that change is by taking those actions, is by speaking our truth, is by leading people and bringing forward these alternative patterns of thinking or concepts or inventions or whatever it is. Like, we have to be the ones willing to break the mold, because this is how the world gets to transform. So this is really the importance of leadership at this time, because right now we're shifting into a new time. Okay, we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, and so our world is going to radically change. The coronavirus stuff right now that's happening is not going to be one of the only change that we're going to experience on this global level. There are going to be major changes coming forward, and I don't know what they are yet. Okay, I'm psychic, but I haven't asked my guides about what's going to happen. I don't really care. But there's going to be things like this that happen again and again as old structures come down and new structures are built. And so with this new world that we're stepping into, we have to have leaders with new ways of thinking and being and doing to really rise up to usher this new world in. So this is why leaders are super important at this time, and we can no longer hold back in sharing what we're here to share or doing what we're here to do out of fear of rejection or ridicule or persecution or any of these different things, which are super common for those of you that identify as light workers. It's common for those of you who feel like you're here to make the world a better place in some kind of way. A lot of times we have had past experiences in other lives, if you believe in past lives, where we have been killed and have had these bad things happen to us. And so it manifests in this life as resistance or reluctance to step forward and bring forward these new teachings, especially if you're a spiritual teacher. I know plenty of spiritual teachers who were killed in past lives for being witches and sorcerers and these kinds of things, and then they have certain experiences in this life where they kind of play out that same kind of pattern where they're afraid of accessing their abilities and talking about spirituality and all these different things. And so they're here to bring forward new spiritual teachings, but because of all of these past experiences, whether it's in this life or past lives, it doesn't matter, they're not really stepping forward into their leadership role. And they're not bringing in these new teachings and concepts, which are needing to be brought forward at this time to usher this new world in. So as leaders, we need to really recognize where we're holding ourselves back, where we're playing small, and to start shifting that to bring forward these new things that are going to make life on earth moving forward so much easier for other people, because it's not just about us. It's about these other people and helping them to adapt to this new world that we're stepping into. But the only way to help these people to more easily step into this new world that we're creating, we have to be willing to rise up and have the light shown on us and be exposed to other people, or have a lot of people see us, and to lose those fears, to lose those, insecurities, and to be willing and to work through our own stuff that keeps us from really being able to show up powerfully for people, so that we can actually do these things, right? So this is, hey Lorette, how are you? So this is the message that I was asked to bring today, is the importance of leadership. Is it's really important for people to speak their truth, to bring in new ways of thinking forward, new technology, new ways of doing things. I know for many of you on the spiritual path, because a lot of people that follow me are on the spiritual path, we have had some very prominent spiritual teachers who have ushered in this new, spiritual movement that we're all experiencing. And I'm not going to say any names, but there are certain new teachers and with new higher levels of understanding of what these old teachers had brought in originally. And so in order for these new teachings to come in, we need to show up powerfully as teachers and share these new truths and be more open. And I know for me personally, one of the fears that I had on coming back onto YouTube and bringing some of the teachings that I am bringing forward is a lot of the spiritual community, from my perspective, was that everyone is very like peace and love and positive vibes and, unicorns and rainbows and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I am that kind of person, and other times I am the person that brings the hard, cold, cold truth. And so one of those hard, cold truths that I shared was, for example, the quote that I just shared earlier around how COVID isn't to blame for any scarcity or issues that you're having. It's your own stuff that you need to let go of. And then people, weren't very happy with that. And then other truths that I had. And that was one of the things that I had to, clear inside of myself, to let go of that fear of, oh my God, people are going to hate me on the YouTube, and they're going to attack me and they're going to think that I'm being mean and all these other negative things. I had to process that for myself, to then allow myself to be seen and heard by you guys, to come forward and share these messages that are going to impact people, so that I can feel my purpose and impact those who are ready to hear what I'm here to say, right? To positively impact those who need to hear what I have to say in order to change their lives, in order for them to have a greater understanding of things, in order for them to shift out of old patterns and break free from those struggles. So I had to really process my own stuff to fulfill my purpose in this way. So this is why you guys who consider yourselves or feel like you're here to be leaders, you really need to make sure that you are actively doing things so that you can really more powerfully step into this leadership role and help people out in the way in which they're needing to be helped by you. So you need to share your truth. You need to really stop censoring yourself. You need to stop holding back, because it's really important for you to be out there in the front lines to lead people forward into this new world we're stepping into. But you can only do that if you're willing to address the things inside of you, and if you're willing to let go of this need for acceptance of other people, approval, validated by other people in some kind of way, all of these different things. You need to let go of all these fears and stuff so that you can show up powerfully for the world and make your impact, okay? Because this is what it's about. We all have to do our part to play our unique roles that we're here to play to usher in this new world. So this is why it's really important, is the creating this new world is only going to be possible when those of us who are leaders are actually showing up and rising to the occasion. So that is the message I got asked to bring forward today. I really hope that this has helped you. If it has, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or like wherever you're watching from. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet already. Drop me a comment to let me know what you thought of this. Do you feel like you're a leader? What do you feel like you're here to do as a leader? What do you think maybe is holding you back as a leader? If you want to share that, if you're comfortable with that, I want to hear from you guys below. And I really encourage you to come and follow me on Instagram and all my social media things, because sometimes I provide free guidance for you guys to help you move forward. So for example, this past week on Instagram, I shared a post in which I asked people, if they were interested, they could comment below, and I would channel on what's holding them back from stepping into leadership role, which I'm going to be answering right after I get off this video. And so these are the kinds of little things that I do to support you on your journey, to help you have understandings, guidance that you might need to help you move forward in stepping into your leadership role with more ease and grace. So I really hope that this has helped you in some kind of way to really understand the importance of leadership at this time. And I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you. I hope to see you in another video next Friday or some other time when I upload a video. And I will talk to you guys soon. If you have not yet joined my email list, be sure to click on the link that will be pinned to the comments of this video to sign up for my email list, because sometimes I do special offers there, like some stuff that I'm offering right now to those on my email list. I can't say right now, but when you join, you will find out when they happen. All right, guys, take care. Bye.